This parable of the talents is often understood to be about how we use the special gifts we have. You might have a talent for music or gardening or cooking or whatever it is, and so you should use it for the Lord. Paul Murray, Irish Dominican poet, said one of the most liberating things was when the provincial said to him, "Go and write poetry. That's your part in our preaching of the gospel." And a couple of days ago, I was listening to the music of a young Polish Dominican composer, and that's part of his preaching. And it's because of this parable that our gifts, since the early 15th century, came to be called talents. And this is all good and wonderful and right, but perhaps we can go a little bit deeper. There are hints of something more, because the master who gives the talents is the Lord. And when he goes away, he doesn't give the apostles, the disciples, lots of cash. He gives them himself. Every Eucharist, we remember his gift when he says, "This is my body. I give it to you. I give myself." So we're entrusted with more than lots of money. We're entrusted to hand on the Lord. And we do this best when we give ourselves. God came to us as a gift, and we share the Lord best by becoming gifts ourselves in everything we do, in everything we are. A great cook or a musician or a teacher or a nurse gives himself or herself. They throw themselves into what they do. The Lord says to the good servants, "Enter the joy of your master." And that isn't just a reward. We enter that joy whenever we give ourselves away unsparingly. That's what it means to be alive. We're only alive if we give ourselves away. Now, the wicked servant just doesn't get this. He doesn't understand gifts. He says to his master, "Have what is yours." He never received the gift, and so he can't give it away. And so Paul says in the second reading, "You are not of the night. You don't belong to darkness." Well, there's something of the night about this servant. It's interesting. He puts his talent in a deep hole. He entombs it. He puts it in the dark. The master casts him into darkness. But this is a darkness that he's already made himself. He's like Gollum in his cave, saying, "Mine, mine, precious mine." And there's a beautiful irony in this, because the master says to him, "Well, at least you could have put it in a bank and it would have got some interest." And of course, everybody knew that usury was forbidden. It's as if the master is saying to him, anything, even ghastly usury, is better than just hanging on to things. So certainly, we should use our God-given talents, our gifts. But we use them best when we give away ourselves. As the Irish poet Padraig Pearse said, "I have squandered the splendid years the Lord gave to my youth in attempting impossible things, deeming them alone worthy of toil. Lord, if I had those years, I would squander them again. I fling them from me. So we have to be alert to all the ways that we can make our lives a gift for others. It may be in marriage, where we say to another person, all I am, I give myself to you. That's a Eucharistic act. It will bring joy. It may also bring some pain. Not every wife or husband will be like the marvelous wife in the first reading. All of our brethren know the famous saying of Herbert McCabe, love and you will get hurt. If you don't love, you're dead already. If you take the risk of bringing a child into the world, you give part of who you are, your DNA, your being, to this little stranger. You don't know whether he or she will ever love you in return. You don't know what joy, what sorrow they will bring to you too. But that's better than a dead, buried heart which doesn't feel anything. You may be called to give your life to a religious order, like the Dominicans, if you're very lucky. You don't know who your brothers and sisters will be. You don't know where they will send you. You don't know what it will mean, what it will cost, but you give your life away. And that's its joy. And sometimes it's pain. Or you give your life away as a teacher or a nurse or somebody working for charity. St. Paul says to the Thessalonians, be alert. Be alert for how we can give our lives away. And then we will enter even now into the joy of the Master.